All these points made the Ice Girl clan head think for a moment. She became silent and had to make the tough decision of the life and death situation of her clan. San knew that it wasn't an easy decision to make. He gave her more time to measure the pros and cons of this method precisely. After a lot of thinking, the Ice Girl clan head asked San to meet his companion first. He agreed to meet him at night. San had said what must have been said. The rest was on the leader if she wanted to accept the offer or not. As their encounter ended, San was way too drained of energy. To recover, he rushed to the cultivation room. After resting for a while, he received a notice from Jang. He told the Ice Girl clan head that he would bring Bingji over to her later and headed to Jang's room. Those days, his companions had been climbing the holy mountain for cultivation. When San arrived at Jang's room, his friends were already there. He became very excited and energetic after seeing them. He learned that their cultivation level had increased drastically, which made him even happier. After some chatting, he told them that Jang and he had competed in an auction several days before. They won the Space-Time Palorda and the Golden-Winged Great Pung's blood essence. When his companions got to know this, they became overjoyed and excited. Although this meant nothing to Bingji, he told him he would tell him good news soon. Jang calmed Bingji down and then told him that there was going to be another ancestral auction soon. The top 10 people might receive Emperor tokens. Although the ancestral court had announced that every race could participate in this auction, it was still difficult for humans to participate. San then mentioned the Liger Sword Saint, who could participate for them. He was on his way to the ancestral court and would arrive in 2 days. Suddenly, Jang became very hyped and excited for the arrival of the Liger Sword Saint. The other companions haven't experienced the excitement yet, but Jang surely did. San's plan was to win over the Liger clan. If the Liger clan could get a foothold in the Golden Lion clan, it would be a very powerful boost to the human race. Young Master Mei fought for the Peacock clan for the same reason. The Liger clan can now be classified as a first-level bloodline. If they had the support of such a powerful clan, there would be a greater hope for the rise of humanity. Jang was very proud of San's vast thinking and complimented his work for the human race. San then told them that there was another clan that they might be able to win over. This was also the good news he wanted to tell his older brother. He told them everything about the Ice Girl clan head and the conditions he had set forth for them. Only then did Bingji learn that his ice essence transformation was inherited from the Ice Girl clan. He was adopted by an organic, so he didn't know which race he came from. After a little chatting with the whole team, Bingji and San headed to the room where the Ice Girl clan head was staying after this conversation. Unexpectedly, they were stopped by the younger sister. She said she didn't want them to marry the Ice Girls. She shouted and yelled that she did not agree with Bingji's marriage. San explained to her that he was not going to marry the nice girl. He was just going to prove to her that humans can combine with Ice Girls, which was enough to calm the younger companion down. They both then headed towards the room. When they arrived at her room, Bingji and the clan head looked at each other for the first time. This made his bloodline power fluctuate with an unexplainable feeling of intimacy. This was some kind of oppressive feeling from a higher-level member of the same clan. He had never felt this feeling in his life before. The head asked for Bingji's hand. She started checking his bloodline, which was quite average, but his cultivation level was very high. It reached 8 levels peak. Its vitality exceeded that of average classmen. If his bloodline was further purified, he would most definitely reach the Lord level. She then asked Bingji if he had relied on someone else to obtain his cultivation level, and his answer was negative. He had some opportunities in his lifetime, but he surely relied on himself. The purity of Bingji's bloodline was not weak, so he must have been a descendant of a divine-level powerhouse of the Ice Girls clan. He was asked if he knew his mother or not, and he again replied negatively. He asked if she could help him find her mother, which constituted anger in the Ice Girl clan head, because it was against the law and a violation to secretly marry an outsider of their clan. The punishment for this violation was turning the person back into ice. Now, she insisted that she needed to take Bingji to her clan to investigate his case more. San was not happy about it, because it was not safe for Bingji to go to their clan alone. She told San that there was no other option, and that she couldn't leave Bingji outside. It was a case of the Elder Council. San completely refused her, but she did not listen to him at all. They both were now very angry, and anything could happen at that moment. Then, they came to an agreement that she had to fight San first. If she won, she would get to take his older brother, and if she lost, she had to listen to San. The condition was that she was not allowed to use the frozen throne. All San wished was that she didn't make any difficulties for his brother. He was very confident about the fight, which made the leader even more furious. He stated that if she hurt his brother, he would end the Ice Girl clan. They then moved out of the ancestral court, as no private fights were allowed inside of the court. San told Bingji to keep the fight a secret. They came to a flat mountain on the north of the ancestral court. While they stared at each other, Bingji watched the scene from a distance. San really had to win this fight to prove that everyone should take humans seriously. If humans didn't prove their strength, it would be difficult for them to compete on the same footing in the future. Was human San really capable of fighting a Lord-level powerhouse? If he lost, his brother would be compelled to go with the Ice Girl clan's head to her clan. No one could guess what would happen to him there. Just before the beginning of the duel, she threatened San for the last time and then unexpectedly attacked San right away. Luckily, he teleported quickly and dodged the attack easily. Now it was his turn to attack. He activated the bipolar realm, which brought bad luck to the opponent and made her out of sync. She felt her bloodline power stagnating and was very shocked about it. San quickly teleported and appeared from the sky with a fire hammer, attacking her straight on the head. Luckily, she blocked the attack with her ice spikes. San was continuously pressing her, and she was forced to defend herself at all costs and had little to no opportunities to build up an attack. The moment she released her palm, her bloodline stagnated again and again. It was like her fate was being controlled. She was shocked that her bloodline power was stagnating that much and did not know how to attack San or even defend his powerful attacks. Afterward, she saw the Heavenly Fox transformation and shouted at him as if he were in the Heavenly Fox clan. San, without responding, continued his lethal attacks on her, which pressed her even more, and she was in a dire situation. She had no option other than blocking. Blow after blow, San broke her defense down very easily. She had never been suppressed and beaten this much. This position was very awkward for her to fight back, and she had no time to adjust and was just in a lock. Bingji was shocked as well. Seeing a human beating a divine-level powerhouse was no normal thing. He was really some kind of a monster. The clan's head couldn't fight back because San was controlling the battle's rhythm. She then transformed to break through San's lock. In order to break the bipolar realm, she decided to use her divine consciousness. San took the battle smartly. He didn't want to confront her head-on, so he put away his bipolar realm first. She shot an ice spike towards him at a tremendous speed, which was nearly impossible to dodge. It was high time for San to activate the consonant Heavenly Eye. The head was shocked to see that San had broken her ice spike with that low of a cultivation level. San basically used his consonant Heavenly Eye to accurately find the weakest spot in the Ice Girl's defense. Afterward, he used the Ghost Shadow Perplexing Track to make a deadly attack on the Ice Girl. He had not been affected by her ice spikes at all and walked through them like nothing. He attacked her continuously, and now she had nothing else to do other than defend. After some time, she was forced to retreat from the fight and abandon it. It was for the first time ever that a divine-level powerhouse had been defeated by a human. It was very shocking to see that a human with that low cultivation level could do this incredible act. This was a real once-in-blue-moon fight to witness. The Ice Girl hid inside the frozen coffin as she was scared of San's attacks. She wanted to avoid face-to-face confrontation with San. She was not powerful enough to face him head-on. The frozen coffin was very hard and almost unbreakable. She was using her own divine consciousness to keep herself intact in the coffin. That's how she avoided San's rage. Suddenly, a field started to appear around the Ice Girl's coffin. This field must be her trump card, as she used it at the last minute. Seeing this, San had an idea inside his head. He threw the stone of slowness that he had bought at the ancestral auction towards the Ice Girl. Ice Girl noticed the stone as she was in the same auction. She was surprised because the stone would affect San too. It seemed like he had played a dumb technique. Suddenly, he used his time acceleration to barely escape the effect of the space-time Pelorda. This play shocked the Ice Girl tremendously. She had no option but to accept defeat now. Her ice armor was also affected by the Stone of Slowness and couldn't be formed fully in this less of a time period. For the final attack, he integrated his great Sumeru hammer with a trace of his own divine consciousness. This act caused the hammer to absorb the Liger Golden Flame's flame into itself. He then charged this modified hammer towards the Ice Girl at full speed and finished his attack. It seemed like it was over for the Nice Girl, and she was no longer there. However, San was not a bad dude. He did not attack the Ice Girl with his hammer, as it was just a private fight. He warned her to accept defeat, and she did so. Ice Girl said she would keep the words that she had promised him before. His brother was free to go. She would also promote his consideration more. San then asked her to use the frozen throne to purify his senior brother. Meanwhile, Bingji was still in shock. He could not believe his eyes for what he had just witnessed. A human defeating a divine-level powerhouse never had been done before. The same thought was on the Ice Girl clan's head's mind. They both were shocked by seeing San's real power. Only because San had defeated the Ice Girl clan's head, she decided to use her frozen throne to purify his brother's bloodline. As Bingji sat on the throne, a wave of coolness immediately flowed through his limbs. His skin was very cold. Some lines like ice flowers appeared on his skin, which was terrifying to look at. The Ice Girl clan's head noticed that there was no rejection from the frozen throne. This meant that humans really were really close to the bloodline of the Ice Girl clan. It was a very good combination and a very strong one, too. Everything the Ice Girl had witnessed that day made her believe that humans were no joke. She really had to consider this suggestion from San now. The purification of Bingji's bloodline was completed by dawn. Now, he felt that his bloodline had gone through some very positive changes, and something seemed to be activated in his body. After all this work, the Ice Girl left for her clan and said goodbye to them both. San left his contact information with her just in case she wanted to consider his suggestion of humans. Bingji then returned to the Great Tiger Hotel. San leads his way to Carrie City to look for the Big Cat couple. The Ancestral Court's elite competition was about to begin, so the Big Cat couple needed to sign up as soon as possible. But it could be real work to find them. San had not seen them for several days. What would he do to find them now? San also had a Liger bloodline. This meant that it was no problem for him to find the Big Cat couple. He found the Big Cat couple through the exploration of the divine entities. When San found them, he found out they were traveling non-stop for several days. This was because they had no wings to deploy for flying. After all the traveling, they were almost at the Ancestral Court. He then explained to the Big Cat about the Ancestral Court's elite competition. He needed his help to compete in this because he was not quite sure if humans would be allowed in this competition. The Big Cat couple agreed to his request without saying a word. They were in for anything he ordered them to do. This dedication was really needed for them to succeed. In addition, the Big Cat always wanted to test out his current bloodline power. It was a golden and incredible chance for the Big Cat to test the true power of his bloodline in the competition. However, the situation wasn't as smooth as it appeared. There was a problem ahead of them now. The kitten had no aristocratic status, which meant she could not legally enter the Ancestral Court. This was a big problem for them all. San contacted Jiang to help them smuggle the kitten inside the Ancestral Court. After a lot of work, he finally managed to get the kitten inside the Ancestral Court. Another problem was that it was the last day to register for the Ancestral Court's elite competition. They quickly rushed inside the Ancestral Court without any more thinking. They went to the registration location, the Ancestral Court Grand Square, without wasting any time. When they arrived, they left the kitten inside the carriage. The Big Cat and San went inside to register themselves. The receptionist told them that the entry fee was 100 elemental coins. The lowest bloodline level was bloodline level 2. Anything below that was not allowed to compete in the competition. They tested the bloodline level with a special device. First, the test subject's blood was dropped into the device. The rising height of the device's crystal column indicated the subject's bloodline power. There was a scale next to the crystal column. When the crystal column's height reached 3 feet, the subject's bloodline level was bloodline level 4. 6 feet was the third level bloodline. Anything beyond 15 feet indicated a first level bloodline. The Big Cat's crystal column raised up to a shocking 69 feet. The enormously high value shocked everyone in the room. The Big Cat was in the top 10 highest bloodlines recorded. After learning about the Big Cat's bloodline level, the staff of the Ancestral Court became very respectful of him and were a bit terrified of him. The staff explained that there was not only a solo competition, but also a duo competition. The duo competition gained Big Cat's attention. He asked San if he wanted to join him in the duo competition. Staff quickly declined this offer as no humans were allowed in the competition. However, they negotiated that San had a first-level bloodline and that he deserved to participate in the competition. The staff did not buy it. The staff told them that they needed the guarantee of emperors before a human could participate. This made San excited quickly. He showed the staff his token of Sword St. Palace. The magnificent token blew everyone's mind. The staff rapidly changed their attitude towards San too. They now told him they needed to check his bloodline level before he was qualified to compete in the competition. As long as San passed the bloodline test, he was good to go. San asked about the rewards of the competition. After knowing the rewards, he got really excited and agreed to compete in the competition no matter what. Now the Big Cat and San were a duo in the competition. It seemed like they were invincible together, and no one could defeat them now. San then stepped up to test his bloodline level. In his turn, the crystal column rose to 3. He used his Liger bloodline for this test. It was already a second bloodline level, so he was good to participate in the competition. Both he and the Big Cat decided to participate in both challenges, the duo and solo. The registration fees for this competition were very expensive. Now that San had paid it, he could not waste this opportunity and tried his hardest to win. The total registration fees came up to 400 elemental coins. Surprisingly, out of the blue, young Master Mei appeared from behind, entering the registration office for the Ancestral Court's elite competition. San muttered to himself, wondering why his heart stopped every time he glanced at that man. Mei wondered if there was a peacock demon above divine level standing in front of her. She was really curious who he was. They both then realized who they were. After they greeted each other, San asked her why she was in seclusion and what she was doing there. May asked the same questions to San. From behind, someone yelled at how they knew each other, which made them both panic. The man seemed to be very unhappy about them knowing each other. This made them both a bit awkward. It turned out that the man who was not so happy about them knowing each other was May's own father. San was befuddled upon seeing his father-in-law. May introduced him as her human friend to her father. He respectively greeted her father and lowered down to him.